Hi guys.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to a special edition of
All
All
things
Things Marriage.
marriage.
Again, we're your hosts, Derek.
And Crystal Robinson.
And so the thing that makes this one so special is that yeah, we're testing out some church stuff. We
Yeah.
got some equipment, some things. We're trying to get ready for an event that we have coming up, and
Right.
so we wanted to test out the equipment that we just purchased, and we figured why not kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, we're gonna hop on. Yeah.
Um,
And talk to you guys for a little bit.
right,
Just make sure we can be up and running for the service.
exactly. So that being said, let's hop into our subject.
Yeah, so today we're talking about misplaced priorities.
Right. So the motivation behind this particular topic of misplaced
Yes.
priorities, excuse me, is the other day I was on YouTube and I was watching a big job video. It's a YouTuber comedian,
That he watches.
right. I watched several of them, and in this particular episode of his, he was talking to his live-in girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes home from work or whatever the case may be. And she's in the kitchen, just cooking it up, just chefing it up, right? And he's just like, oh man, that smell good. She makes the plate, sit down, and he's just like, where's mine at? And she's just like, I didn't cook for you. Yeah, are you? He was like, what you mean you didn't cook for me? Why didn't you cook for me? Like, how am I supposed to know that? And she was just like, did you ask me to marry you? Like, did you make me your wife? He's just like, no, I didn't make you my wife. He was just like, she was just like, so you should know I didn't make your plate. It's some ramen noodles in there though. Like, and he was just like, yo, that's crazy.
Which I would agree with him. That's
Right,
crazy.
that's real wild. And it was kind of funny, but it got me to thinking. It was just like, that's crazy. You're living together. According to the sketch, and again, it was just a sketch. It was like a 5 minute sketch,
Right.
right? It's not a real thing, but
It may.
honestly,
It may not be.
for
We
some
don't
people,
know.
that's a real thing. And so it just made me think. It was just like, that's crazy. You guys are dating. You're allegedly living together or assumingly living together, according to this
Right.
sketch. And I'm assuming you're doing all the things that couples do, especially if you're living together.
What's the purpose if you're not?
Right, exactly. And but you say you didn't make me your wife, so I'm not gonna make you a plate. And and again, to me, the priorities there were a little bit off.
Agreed. I definitely brought it to his attention that so you can't fix him food or his plate.
Right. But you can do everything else.
Mm, yeah, you can sleep in the same bed with him.
Right.
I'm pretty
And
sure you're, doing
as
sexual favors.
another one of the comedians that do videos with them sometimes, Clayton Thomas, Team CT, he says getting the cookie to the cookie get got. Like 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 you can get the cookie to the cookie get got.
Right. We can play house, but we can't play house.
Right. And so, it got us thinking, and again we were just like, yeah, that's an interesting subject matter. How to prioritize or misplace priorities in relationships, right? So
And we do it a lot.
we do.
We do it a lot. And I feel I guess it's a part of understanding what we want in our relationships and stuff.
Right.
But again, with that example, the reason why we brought it up is I like I have fixed, Derek a plate of food. I've cooked for Derek before we were married.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I can't do that simple task for you. But I could live with
I
you.
can live with you,
I
right.
can show you my naked body. I can show
Right.
you how I look in the morning.
Right, right. But I can't fix you a plate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all of these things, and it's We have misplaced
Right.
priorities.
And it's bigger than fixing plates because, some people I've heard where I've heard different ones say, well, oh, we can live together, but like we can live together but we can't sleep together. And it's just like
Right.
that's weird. Or like again, you can come, you can spend the night at my place. We can do all number of sexual things that we're gonna do together. We can vacation together and all of this other stuff, but I'm not going to introduce you to my children because you don't deserve to meet my kids yet. That's
Yeah.
serious. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, if you have children
There's a
before.
time that you say, okay, no, you can't meet my kids yet.
Right.
But I feel like there's a process, a level
Yeah,
to
yeah,
these
yeah. But
things.
to me it's weird to say I'm going to give you my body.
Yeah.
I'm going to
The
allow you
most,
to
the
stay in my
most
place.
sacred part of me.
Right. I'm gonna allow you to stay at my place, sleep in my bed, share in my
Okay.
food.
Not even that. We we don't live together because I do have children.
Right.
But I can go on 3-day
3 and 4 day
vacations
vacations,
with you,
weekends, whatever.
and we're doing the exact same things that we would do if we did live together, but you can't meet my
But you can't meet my
children.
children, or you can't meet my mom or my dad, or
Yeah.
it's just weird to me. And it reminds me of a conversation that I had when I was in college. It was a group of us, and you've been around some of my college
Yeah.
friends. Shout out to to the Jamars, the Kendras, the Thomases, the Nickies of the world. All of the like some of my college buddies. We used to have some really good conversations in all facets. Right? It was about church stuff, about school, about work, about business, about relationship, all of it. And so one day the subject came about, would it be a deal breaker for you if you were to get married or if you were to be in a relationship with someone and you found out that they were unwilling to perform, oral sex?
Hmm.
They weren't willing to do oral favors. Is that like, if you're married, would you like divorce that person or leave that person or whatever if they're unwilling to do said things?
Okay.
And some of the responses were really really interesting, right? Like there was one young lady who, she kind of had it together a little bit,
Hmm.
in the sense that she was saying, well, certain things are reserved for my husband. And
Hmm.
so if we're dating, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, there are just certain things you're not
Right.
gonna get out of me.
Right.
And if that makes you not want to marry me because you can't get that before you marry me, then it is what it is. Then of course some of the guys is just like, nah, fam, I gotta know
We
what
gotta
it
test it.
is.
We
Like,
gotta
you
test.
gotta test the waters, right?
Yeah.
But then some of the young ladies was also like, I can't marry a dude if I don't know. And then they went into, what about his the size and the this and that, or what if it's not good? What if it's this? What
Hmm.
if it's that? And I'm just like, interesting subject matter. Sure, great topic. Is it a deal breaker? What if you find out that it's not all it was cracked up to be, and now you married this person and it's just not what you wanted
Right.
to be? I mean, there are ways to fix that, but my mindset was kind of like, and I didn't have it all together when I was in college. I'm not even gonna try to front. I didn't.
He won't saved
I
all
won't
his
all the
life.
way save, right? But my mindset even then was still like, but what if this person don't know how to talk to you? We just glanced over that. We just glanced over the fact that they don't have proper financial backing
Yeah.
and background and understanding and a financial awareness on how to manage money and how to manage. They don't
Yeah.
have good time management skills. They
Hmm.
don't know how to talk to you or their parents, mother, father, kids, whatever. They're not good. They don't want kids, or you do want kids. They don't want them, vice versa. Like, we
Right.
glossed over all of that.
Right.
All of that stuff was okay. Like, we can work through it. But the not performing oral sex, now that's grounds for divorce. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow. And my
Yeah.
mind was just, I was like, wow,
Right.
that's where we
Because
are. Like,
what if everything was awesome, magnificent? Oh my gosh, I want to marry this person because, you know what I'm saying? And then something happens after you get married where those things aren't a possibility.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like our priorities are a little out of whack.
Skewed. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that it's one of those things where we have to really take a step back and we
Yeah.
have to really examine ourselves, and this channel is not designed necessarily to be like a self-help type of thing.
Right.
We want to open the floor for discussion. We want to talk. We want to
Right. We
it's
want to learn.
we
We
want to
want to grow and
learn. We want
develop as
others to
well.
learn. And the way you learn, one of the ways you learn is
Is you
by
have a
communication, right?
you have a
And so,
conversation about it.
right, but it's one of those things where you have to really examine yourself and be like, wait a minute, am I putting sexuality on a pedestal?
Mm,
Am I putting, my kid, for those of us who are married, um and sex before marriage isn't the big issue because you're married now, right?
right.
Then who cares if you're making the plate or giving, what I'm saying, giving whatever sexual favors. I mean,
Mm,
now maybe that's an issue, what I'm saying, that's a hot topic in your relationship, and then that's one of those priority things you have to kind of figure out, is making the plate a huge priority for me.
mm,
Like, if I'm your husband, and you never prepare a meal for me, you know what I'm saying, how high on the scale is that if you're
right.
doing all the other
Right.
things? Or
Because we know about, our love languages. We
right,
know
right, right, right.
all of these things. We do understand that individuals have their dislikes and likes,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
things that are, is special to them. Like Derek does enjoy that I make his plate for him.
I
That
do. I
so
do.
he enjoys that. So does that mean I make every plate?
Nah, not
Nah,
quite.
doc. But it means that I understand that he enjoys, one, the way he was raised. He saw his mom, he saw his grandmother
Yeah, right,
making the
right,
plates
right.
for their husband. So that goes into play for it. Me on the other hand, I saw my grandmother and my granddaddy, but sometimes my granddaddy, he did for himself. Or
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
my grandmother definitely cooked all the meals. I don't think I've ever seen my granddaddy cook a meal. Um, but it goes into the
Right,
priorities, it goes into likes and dislikes. So we're not saying we knock you for your specific things,
right,
like I like my spouse to make my plate,
right.
but those priorities when you're dating, you have to set them.
And when you're married,
You
but
do. That's what I'm saying. You have to set them
on
in
the
your
front end. Yeah,
dating,
yeah,
in your
yeah, yeah.
front on the front end, yeah. So when you get into your marriage, you have a platform to work
To
from.
work and build and grow.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Because again, there's nothing worse, and I can't say that I know this from experience, but there's nothing I cannot. Let's clear that I cannot. Uh, but there's nothing worse than entering into a marriage thinking that the scale and the priorities and everything is set and it's balanced,
Mm-hmm.
and then you finding out a year, 2 years down the road, a month down the road, that all of the priorities, all this balancing, and all of the rules and regulations have all of a sudden changed.
Yeah, that thing that I was talking to you about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really,
I don't really
I
like
don't really
that.
like that.
Yeah, that's terrible. Because, and not to say
I
that,
hoodwinked you.
yeah,
I swindled you.
yeah, right, because
You've been
and
bamboozled.
that's not to say that that's what you've done, but that's what it can
That's what
feel
it
like.
feels like.
It feel like realist, and since
Like
since
I didn't know
the
that meant that much to you.
right, since the
Yeah.
subject was making the plate, making the food versus, you living together, sleeping together,
Right.
whatever. Like, let's keep it there. There's you assume, oh, my spouse is into, all the sexual explorations,
Mm.
into this and the that, and the toys and the this and that, and then you get married, and all through dating is just like, ooh, just wait till we marry. And let's just say you did it the right way and you waited till you
Yeah.
got married. you
Yeah.
didn't you didn't do those things because you're trying to do things the right way, and then you waited till you got married, and it's just like, oh, you wait till the wedding night. It's finna go down. We finna light it up.
Tad.
Ta da da da. Like,
I was about to say, whoa,
like,
Bishop.
but it, and you say those things, and you put that as the
Uh
balance.
huh.
That's how you weigh the scales out, and then wedding night comes.
Hmm.
You've said your I do's, you've kissed the bride, you've waved to the crowd, all the rice has been thrown, and
And ain't
the
nobody in that room
ain't
but
nobody
you,
but you and you. And then it's just,
alone in a room.
don't get me started now. It's just me and you.
I need everybody who was in that conversation
To just to, to,
to go
to
ahead and
get in the
comment.
comments. I feel so lost because I don't know what to
Get
do.
back on track.
Oh, now what if I choose the wrong thing to do?
I shouldn't even
I'm
started it.
so afraid of
I'm sorry,
disappointing you.
Saints.
So
Y'all,
I need to talk to you. I'm
y'all,
sorry.
y'all will never listen to that song
And
again the
asking
same way.
for your guidance,
You should have seen your
especially
face.
today
Watch your face on the
when
replay.
my life feels so clouded. Guide me until I'm sure.
All right,
What happens when
Derek,
you get to that night?
Daryl,
And then
Daryl.
all of a sudden, and we're going to put it on the husband this time, all of a sudden, your husband flips the script.
Yeah.
And all those things that he was promising you,
Oh my God.
that he was
He wanna.
willing and able to do.
He wanna be us. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then he shows up and he says, well, baby, you know, let's just keep it simple
Can
tonight.
I talk to you?
Let's just keep it simple just this one time. And then the next night, because it's the honeymoon time and you got all week long. And so
You
the
are
next
really excited about this.
and the next night rolls around and he's just like, baby, I'm not really feeling all that new stuff. We just trying to get used to each other. And then you get off the honeymoon and you get a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, a year in, and he's still saying, baby, I just don't think I'm really into all of that. How would that make you feel?
That was that and bamboozle,
Hood
hoodwink,
run amok
not even run them up, cause
because you ain't been run amok yet. That's the problem. I'm
that
sorry,
is
we
the
wild.
issue.
We wilded a little bit, but I mean, we having fun with it. But really, like, you've set up the expectation, and you put it out there that this is what's going on, because you haven't really prioritized, and you haven't discussed and communicated what the
Hmm.
priorities are, and if you or what the standards are, what the scale and the balance is, and if you put a high level of priority into that thing, and then that person switches that thing up on you like that,
Yep.
then that's grounds for some arguments, and for some hurt feelings, some anger and some aggression, some misspoken words, all of those types of things. And truth be told, a lot of times, um relationships don't last,
Yeah.
because people's priorities are out of whack. Another one being, the prioritizing the child. We don't want it to just be sexual, you know, prioritizing like children and child caring, and
Hmm.
how you're gonna rear the children, especially when it comes
Yeah.
to blended families.
Yeah.
When this is my kid, and you're not gonna talk to my child any kind of way,
Yeah.
that can be a problem, because now you prioritize this child over
Yeah.
your relationship.
Or when you neglect your children
Right, when you
for your
neglect the kid.
relationship. In a lot of cases, I mean, this can be both your kids together also,
Right,
but a
right,
lot
right.
of the times we see that when you have those not
Co-parenting.
co-parenting, but you have the blended families
Okay,
and
yeah.
you have stepkids involved,
Right, right, right,
and
right.
you're neglecting your
The
kids for the stepfather or the
right,
stepmom.
or you're neglecting the individual kid for the kids you have together, or vice versa,
Yeah.
you're neglecting
Yeah.
the kids you have together for your one child because you want to make sure they feel included
Yeah.
and you're excluding the others.
Right. And they'll understand all kids should be treated equally.
Right,
Whether they're your kids or not your kids, as well as all parents should be created equal.
exactly,
Um
exactly.
there's I have this thing where if Derek and I had step kids, you know,
Which we don't.
which we don't, um they will be his kids just as well as they're my kids and vice
Exactly.
versa.
Right, right, right.
So no, they may not discipline your child the same way. Um, especially those that like to spank and stuff like that. You may reserve that for yourself, because to the extent of, when you put hands on your kids, it's kind of a little touchy subject
Yeah.
situation. But as far as if they told them to do something, then they need to
Right.
do it.
But at the same
Ain't no
time,
if, ands, or but. Don't come ask
right.
me. They told you no.
Right. But at the same time, and this is just my personal opinion,
Hmm.
at the same time, if I'm willing to marry you, that means I'm trusting you with my life and
That's true.
with my life and everything that's attached to my life,
That's
which means
true.
my children's life. And so I'm not, if I had already had children and I'm looking to marry someone
Hmm.
and those children are of reprimandable age,
Hmm.
I'm not going to marry someone that I don't trust with disciplining my children.
Or I mean,
Whether it's physical hands-on discipline or just a stern talking to.
the only reason why I said the physical thing is because it gets tricky.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Legally, it
Right.
gets tricky for you, even if it's your own child.
Right.
But
Right.
just by thinking about it, CPS and all those
Yeah.
people
No,
involved.
I get it. I
If
get
my
it.
child gets spanked by you and their dad finds out, because these children gonna tell on you,
Oh yeah, they gonna
um,
snitch.
and then the dad has an issue with it,
Right.
that's gonna be some trouble,
It
trouble.
could be, but again, like I said, that's why I said me personally.
Yeah, no,
Me
I understand.
personally, I can't speak for
Look,
nobody else, but
I
me.
thank God. Hey, glory. I'm
Right.
sorry. I forgot that I was recording myself for real. For real. Um,
Right.
I thank God that we don't have any stepchildren. We don't have to worry about that.
Right.
We
Right.
really
Right.
don't.
Right.
But I would have definitely been okay with Derek whooping my children.
Because I whoop kids.
Yep, yep, yep. There it
I'm
goes.
good with it. Just I want all of my future children to
As
know.
a mandated reporter,
Nieces, nephews, etc.
as a
Little
mandate,
cousins,
as a mandated,
even the big
as a
cousins.
mandated reporter, Saints.
I whoop kids.
I don't want to have to call the cops on my own husband.
Right. But yeah. Anywho,
Misplaced priority.
misplaced priorities. Don't prioritize whooping the kids too much.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Yeah, we have to learn how to discipline.
Yeah.
Whoopings don't always work for
Don't
everybody.
always work.
I did good with less whoopings. Mm-hmm.
Anywho, misplaced priorities. Yeah, we want to just make sure, in our relationships, whether it be again the dating phase, the engaged phase, the married phase, the divorced phase.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we understand what our priorities are, right?
Yeah. Have those conversations.
And, yeah.
Sometimes we don't want to have conversations because we're scared that the other person isn't gonna receive it well.
Right.
But
Right.
those
Right.
are necessary.
Necessary conversations
Yeah.
to say what's important to you, and I feel like we've talked about this a little bit in different aspects,
Yeah.
but
I
have
think.
those conversations of what's important to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what things really work for you, what things what
Do
things just
the
don't.
what if questions. In counseling,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
the magical question. The what if tomorrow everything was perfect? Well,
Yeah,
what if
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow this happened?
Right, right.
What how would you feel about that?
Yeah,
What would what would you do?
real crazy example. And I say this because, you know, many of our family and friends out there know that, about a year and a half ago we had a pretty bad accident.
Yeah.
Um and left me with my foot busted up, and getting around was hard, and just daily activities were
Right.
difficult. So you throw that what if out there of what if something happened and I couldn't walk anymore. You know what I'm saying? What if something happened and I couldn't clean myself anymore? I
Mhm.
couldn't take care of the daily necessities of the
Right.
brushing the teeth and washing your behind and all of those things. Put those out
Yeah.
there because again, you don't know until
It
unless you
happens.
have those conversations. And even if you do have those conversations, sometimes you don't know until you're thrust into that situation
Right.
how you would handle it. But it definitely helps to think about it,
Mhm.
because again, for a lot of people, it's, oh, I love you to the ends of the earth, and
Yeah.
then bad car accident, or or wrong place, wrong time, whatever. And now all of a sudden this person is paralyzed, they're in a wheelchair,
Right.
whatever.
And not even that severe, but I
Right.
lost my job.
I lost my job.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then now is all now there's a that's a different strain on the relationship
That's not something you signed up
that
for.
that you sign. Right. It's different, a different strain. You didn't sign up for it. And now and and after it's too late, you're realizing I prioritized, your physical capabilities. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Your financial stability
Yeah.
was a much higher priority than I thought it was.
Yep.
And now that you're not the breadwinner anymore, now that you're not bringing in the money that I thought you should,
Mhm.
now it's now I'm looking at other prospects. Now I'm thinking about whether or not we can make this thing work, whether it's worth sticking in there.
Right.
And again, that's a tough situation to be in,
Yeah.
especially when you're the other person and you thought you guys were in it with love and affection and care for each other and wanting to work it out. And then just because your legs broke, this person's just like, oh, what Johnny over there doing?
Mhm.
It's crazy, but it happens
Yep.
like that.
You put your personal wants and desires above that of the marriage.
Right, right.
So those again is misplaced
Misplaced
priorities.
priorities. Right, right,
You
right,
put yourself above the union.
right, right. So yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for.
Yeah, we got a couple things coming up. We got
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
that we're gonna invite on and hop on and have some conversation just to mix it up and
Right,
get you all's opinions and you know just to go a little bit further and deeper into the thoughts and the minds of married people, single people, divorced people.
right.
You know,
Single ladies and single fellas out there, chime in. We want to see what y'all got to say, because
right?
it's different talking about some of these subject matters
When you're
when
married,
you're married, because I mean, for a lot of people, that's the end game.
yeah.
That's where it is. So the perspective is
But
a little bit different.
happily
Happily
married
married, right?
is the end
But
game.
it's the end game,
If you're
right?
gonna be married,
Be happily
be
married.
happy.
But some of these things are a little bit different when you're single. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
perspective is a little bit different when you're single. The priority is a little bit different
Yeah.
when you're single. So
Right.
hop in and let us know what you guys think.
Right.
Drop some comments. Tell us what you guys think about some of these misplaced priorities. Some
Mm.
instances where priorities have been misplaced,
Right.
or not so much.
Right. And
And if
why do you consider one priority over the other?
over the other, right, what makes it
Yeah.
a priority,
Yeah.
and if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time joining us and you like what you hear, go ahead, uh subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notifications on all our new content coming out. Like we
Yes.
said, we got some new things that we're going to be working on, trying to release
Mhm.
pretty soon. And if you like this one, give us a nice thumbs up. Let us know how
Right.
you feel. We want to see the love, the reactions. We want to see the responses. If you didn't like it, drop the thumbs down so we know not to do this no more.
But you also can tell us why. Don't just hit the
Oh,
thumbs
big
down and
facts.
don't tell us.
Big
I mean,
facts.
again, we want to grow, we want to learn
Right, right,
as
right.
well. So again, you can subscribe, hit that bell notification,
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram and
And Facebook.
Facebook, all things marriage. And until next time,
Deuces.
bye.